Right, g'day guys. In this video, we're going to look at how to construct we're going to start with the construction of a simple floor plan of this office that you can see that I'm sharing now. What we're going to do is go through basic setup, what we need to have ready to go in terms of our settings, and then we're going to work the walls more specifically in this video. We'll have a couple of videos, so you're probably looking at around 4 or 5 videos of 5 or so minutes each. This one probably going to be the longest one. All right, so let's get cracking. So we go into AutoCAD. You open your AutoCAD up. It will look like this if we're starting a new drawing. And the very first thing I want you to do every time before you start drawing is I want you to type the word units and then press enter. Okay. When you do that, what will happen is, I've double clicked units, is that you're going to get a drawing units tab that comes open like this, and you're going to make sure you're on decimal. You want to be to a whole number, and also you want to be working in millimeters, because the floor plan that we're going to be referring to is going to be given to you in millimeters. That's standard South African national standard in terms of how we present drawings and what they need to look at. Okay, so what they need to use in terms of your scales and your units of measurement. Okay, so press OK. Now we're going to work with the layer properties, which is very important. Before we do that, let's go and have a look at the sizing of the floor plan. So we go and have a look. We know we've got nearly a square, so we've got a slight rectangle here, which is going to be a 3250 by 3850. All right. So what I want to do is I want to come up here to my layers property. This is the gold. This is where you have to create layers. If you are a good draftsman, if you are a good architect, if you are a good mechanical draftsperson or engineer, whatever, you're going to use layers. So I'm going to click on layers. It's going to come up with a what looks like a tab like that. And then under this, in this column, the first column here, you're going to right click and you're going to go new layer. And you're going to see it's created a new layer. Basically what it does is it duplicates the original layer or the layer that you are currently working on. So you've got to be careful around that. It's not a problem if you duplicate a layer that is incorrect, that's fine, or that doesn't suit the new layer you want to create, you can adjust that. So while we're here, we're going to create a layer called walls, okay? And I'm going to keep it on the white. I'm going to change, however, the line weighting. The line weighting, I'm going to make 0.5. I want it to be quite thick. It must stand out compared to all the other features that we have in the plan. Okay, so we're going to go 0.50. Good. And then that's perfect for now, because that's what we're going to work with. In order to reflect that line weight, we need to turn our line weightings on. If you do not have line weights on over here, then you'll come to the top, come to your hamburger menu, and make sure you've clicked or tagged. Whatever you tick here will ensure that it comes up on your little taskbar at the bottom. Okay, these are little commands that are going to help you draw more intelligently. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to go into my snaps. Now, it depends. Some people don't like drawing with lots of snaps on. I do. So I draw with all my snaps on, except for parallel. Okay, because I don't want my lines kicking off and away from each other. So this is basically not, in some senses, adding a little bit of, I don't know if you want to call it artificial intelligence to your line work, okay? And then what I'm going to do, because I'm working with a rectangle, when I start drawing now, I'm going to start drawing with my perpendicular snap on. So that means that when I draw, for example, I click line, and as I draw, you can see either it'll go straight down, straight up, or left or right. It keeps it perpendicular. Okay, so shortcut to line command, very simple. I'm going to click L for line, or enter, or alternatively go up and I click at the top corner here. Now, if I'm correct, it's 3850 by 3250. So I'm going to click anywhere on the screen and release. Drag my mouse out, and I'm going to go 50, enter. And that's going to give me the length of the wall. Okay, oopsie, let me zoom out a little bit. That's going to give me the length of the wall along the top. And then I'm going to come down here, 3250. 3250, enter. And then what I'll do is line command again, or spacebar to not reset, but to reuse the previous command. Then I'm going to click on this, and if you've got your snaps on, watch what happens here. If I just drag this up to here and put my mouse on that, you'll see as I drop down, it snaps in position, and then I can snap in position again if I come to the top here. Now, alternatively, what you could have done, and it would have saved you time, is to go rectangle command, and you could have gone, have a look, we go 3250, because that's the first input, comma, 3850, enter. They would have given you, the same thing, but in a different orientation. So let's try that again. So you would go 3850, comma, 3250, enter. There we go. So it would have given you the same thing, but isn't in a rectangle. The reason we want this here, like this, is because we're going to move and we're going to offset some of these walls, whereas this now is one fixed block. What you would have to do then is explode this, okay? I'm not going to do that now. We're probably going to explode a block later, okay? So I'm just going to move my cursor over a little bit because it's in my way. All right. So if we come in here, back to our drawing, we're drawing, again, it's a square, and we're going to be working with a external wall line on the outside here, and so therefore we're going to go with a 222. So I'm going to type in the term offset. Now this is the architectural command, okay? This is the number, I would say this is the number one command for those who are doing civil drafting. So we offset, and we're going to go 222, enter. We're going to click the lines and bring them in by 2, 2, 2, because the measurements we did earlier were the external edges from point to point, right? Then once I've got that, right, I'm not going to erase anything right now. I'm going to go in and look at any other important wall linings or markings that I'm going to have to use. And you'll see here that I've got this internal wall. And we've got to decide what the measurement is going to be for that internal wall, all right? So for now, let's go with double. Well, we're going to go 472 plus 500 plus another 472. So let's do that. 472. Unfortunately, they don't give us the dimensions for that wall. Okay, that should then give us, in fact, that's not going to give us the distance. We're going to go 472 plus 500, right? And then we're going to subtract the length of the inside wall. Okay, so in other words, we're going to go 472. I'm using my calculator right now. 472 plus 500. Okay, plus 472, right? Which would take us approximately to there, I reckon, because that looks equal in good proportion there. And then I'm going to subtract the length of an internal wall. So I'm going to go minus 100. Half the length of an internal wall, which is 1,344. So from that point there, this line here, outside edge, to this line over here, which makes the outside edge of that toilet wall, we're going to go 1,344 on the offset. So I'm going to come back to CAD, and I'm going to go offset, and I'm going to go 1,344, enter. I'm going to take this line, click on this, and bring it across. Now, while I'm in that command, I'm going to click the line again, and I'm going to come back this way. And I'm not going to click again, so I've clicked once to do a new offset command. And then while I'm in the command, I can manually adjust it to the distance of an internal wall, which is, I think we used 100 earlier. So, which is probably more accurate to use 111. But I'm just going to go with 100 here, enter, and there's an internal wall for us in place. We're going to come back here to the question. Now we've got that internal wall. Now we're going to look at the distances for windows and door placings. So we've got 600 to where the door is going to join over here. Let me get my, go back to CAD. We're going to go offset again, 600. Right, there we go. Then I'm going to come back here. Now, I'm not going to do anything else here. I'm not going to add in anything else because we're going to go get a door block in the next video or in one of the videos, and then we're going to confirm where that positioning is. All right, so I've moved that across 600. The window here is placed 357 and another 2,000, sorry. So let's do that. Let's go and offset. So I'm going to come back here, offset, 357, right? Oopsie. Sorry, my computer does this every now and then. Lags a bit, so let's go again. Offset, 357, enter. We're going to go from there, drag it across, and then drag it across another 2,000. So while I'm in the command, I'm going to drag it across 2,000, and you can see that that takes us all the way across to there. Okay, so great stuff. There we go. Just checking the measurement out here. 2,000 will be 243 plus that. Good. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to start to trim a little bit. So trim command. Okay, either you type in trim or you come and click up here. So we're going to take that away, right? We're going to take that away. I'm going to start to remove some of this. Oh, sorry, Control Z. Let me do that again. Yes, no, that's fine. We're going to take that away. We're taking this away. We're taking this away. I'm going to take that away. Okay, leaving that for the door positioning. That's obviously where the window is going to be positioned along there. I'm going to come in here and remove those two, remove that, clean up this space as well, come down to the bottom here, clean up this space as well. You just drag that across like I'm doing. I'm going to clean up here, there as well, and clean there up. Let's go and have a look if there's any other windows we need to add. We've got a small window that's placed above the toilet. Okay, so here's another way we can use for positioning a window here. That's the center. So I'm going to click there, draw a line, and I'm going to offset 250 either side of that line. Okay, so we're just going to go offset, offset. Because we weren't given enough information on the walls here, in terms of where the wall ends and what have you, we're just going to use that. So then I can delete the middle line, and now we've got the positioning for that window as well. Now we've got to decide on a length for the bathroom wall. So if we come in here, if we look at it in proportion, we could probably make this 2.5 meters from the internal wall and see what that looks like and see if we're happy with that proportion. So we go in here, click this, and we're going to offset this 2,500. And if we offset it, it's a bit big, so let's go with 2 meters, 2,000 while I'm in the command. Happy with that. Now what I'll do is I'm going to pull this across to there, right? Then I'm going to trim these two lines on the outside, sorry. I'm going to delete that one, pull this across. It's a few ways I could have done this better. You've probably noticed that already. Then I'm going to offset this again by 100, and we're going to place the door in there a little bit later. We're going to find the door size that will fit that space well. Okay, there we go. So that's where our bathroom is going to be, and this is where our office space is going to be. We've got a spacing for a window, and we've got the starting point for a door. So that's the first video. In the next video, we're going to look at adding doors in position.